All right. It is 6:08 and it's a little bit later than normal. Oh, hey, let's actually show our screen. Hey, there we go. Yeah, so it's a little bit later than we normally start. Yeah, we try to start at 6 p.m. But we are going to prep for some Dungeons and Dragons. Not any active prep in this particular prep session. We're going to look at some new stuff. The new stuff came out. All right, so I wanted to look at Mince and Boo's Journal of Villainy because I mean, looks good. Looks really good. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I did hear that it was a little rough. I heard it was a little rough. But it introduces a lot of cool stuff. People have basically said that if you combine this with Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, you have what Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide was supposed to be. Like this is everything that Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide was missing, essentially. So it is an quote-unquote optional source book, and it's $15 for the PDF. You can also do print on demand for $35 for a soft cover, and I think $45 for a hardcover. And all the money that you spend on it goes to Extra Life, which I really think is cool. But we're not going to talk about this really badass supplement that came out today. Nay, I say to you. Instead, we were going to look at Raiders of the Serpent Sea Player's Guide. That's right, the people that made Odyssey of the Dragon Lord, they're back at it, and it's like Odyssey of the Dragon Lord's Viking edition. So very excited to check this book out and see what kind of stuff they're coming up with, what kind of cool world they've got developed. They got like the same team back for like art and maps and all that jazz. But you know what? We're not going to look at that either. We're going to look at space races. Yeah, that's right. Travelers of the Multiverse. I've been waiting a long time, god damn it, for my Planescape and my Spelljammer. And I've been a patient child, you know? Like, every time Daddy Jeremy, he says, I got a new announcement for you, we got something new coming for Dungeons & Dragons, I don't get excited. I don't think to myself, it's finally time. It's Planescape time. We're going to do this thing. Let's hop in our Spelljammer and, like explore the multiverse. Is it? Nope. Doesn't happen. It came pretty close. Mordenkainen started to really kind of touch on it. There's been some references to Spelljamming in a number of their adventures. I think we're ready. I think the edition's been out long enough that they're already talking about doing a 5.5, and that means it's time to jump the shark. And when I say jump the shark, I mean we're going to start getting everything. This is like, some people view this as like the worst part of an edition. And in some ways it kind of is, but it's also kind of like an incredible time to be a part of an edition of D&D is when everybody is just like, oh, I don't know, let's just do it. Let's just do it. I mean, yeah, sure, everything's allowed now. You can just be anything, do whatever you want. The DMs will sort it out. You know, it's fine. We have enough materials out there to guide them. They could have a basic bitch vanilla campaign. They could have a super complicated, crazy time-traveling campaign, whatever they want to do. Because, you know, we're just here providing the tools for them to build their own stories, right? That's where we're at in the edition. And you know what? I'm here for it. Especially if it gets me closer to Planescape 5th edition. Now, I know, people, I say all the time, like, oh, there's plenty of resources on the DMs Guild. Why don't you just go and get the resources you need and stop complaining, blah, blah, blah. Do you need everything to be official, blah, blah, blah. I really don't. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, like, the second edition Planescape material is just as good as it always was. Really don't need an update to that, honestly. But it would be nice for other people to feel comfortable exploring it, and I think people feel more comfortable exploring content when it's official. So that's my stance on why I would like my favorite settings to actually make it to 5th edition, but I am 100% in support of any of these crazy new Magic the Gathering settings coming out. Anything new to the universe is good. As a Planescape DM, I want more worlds. So it's all good. All right, so let's check this out. I guess this dropped today. Let's see. Travels the Multiverse. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I want to say it dropped today. So that's cool. All right, let's see what we got here. Playtest document by some guy named Christopher Perkins and his friend Jeremy Crawford. Alright, so I guess some interns or something over at Wizards of the Coast were given opportunity to come up with some new content. So we're going to check that out. Alright. Astral Elf. An elf denizen of the astral plane who is likely thousands of years old. Don't the Giff live in the astral plane? Aren't they elves? What is an astral elf compared to a Giff? Guess we're going to find out. Then you got auto gnomes. They're basically mini Warforged, but these guys waddled so that the Warforged could run. Okay. Also, anybody that thinks that World of Warcraft did anything original ever, no. Even their little cyborg gnomes, this shit was already done like 30, 40 years ago. Alright, Giff, fantastic. Hippo dudes with British accents that go big game hunting around the multiverse. Fantastic. Hadozi, they are flying squirrel monkeys. So that's a thing. And then we got Plasmoids, which literally you could finally be... yeah, mecha gnomes, exactly. Mecha gnomes are just auto gnomes. Like, everything in World of Warcraft is just a reskin of something someone else came up with. And that's fine. They do a good job with that. Plasmoid, an amoeba-like being. So you could finally be the slime girl or boy of your dreams. It's finally going to happen. And Thri-kreen, let me tell you about Thri-kreen. Back in the 2nd edition, when you could play as a Thri-kreen, these guys had 6 fully functional hands. 6 fully functional arms. You could kit out your Thri-kreen with as many shits as you wanted. All 6 arms were fully functional. You have not lived until you see a Thri-kreen gunslinger. Yeah. 6 guns. Literally 6 guns. Just, it's incredible. So, I'm pretty excited. Alright, playtest material, power level, broken, feedback. In a game with Hex Blades and Moon Druids, Bear Barbarians, I don't really think... sorry, and the entire Artificer class, I think we'll be okay. Creating your character. Alright, blah, blah, blah. Are they trying to reiterate this new ability score thing that came out with Witchlight? I approve. I'm using that from my Bloodline system. Languages. Your character can speak, read, and write common and one other language. Hey, I did that too. Alright, fantastic. Alright. Creature type. Here, I'm interested in this shit. Every creature in D&D, including every player character, has a special tag in the rules that identifies what kind of creature they are. Most player characters are humanoid. This is big. Hey, what's up, Coxbane? This is big. They're basically saying, yeah, we're moving away from humanoid-only player character species. Alright. A race option presented here tells you what your character's creature type is. So Aberration, Beast, Celestial, Construct, Dragon, Elemental, Fey, Fiend, Giant, Humanoid, Monstrosity, Ooze, Plant, and Undead. These types don't have rules themselves, but some of the rules in the game will affect them. For example, the text of Cure Wounds specifies that the spell doesn't work on a creature that has the Construct type. The Auto Gnome described below being a noteworthy exception by virtue of its true life trait. Oh, I'm excited about that. Okay, so we talked about this on Monday when we were working on the Bloodlines project, and I don't have a problem with any of these Pokemon types being applied to player characters, except for Beast. Because the issue with Beast is polymorph keys off of Beasts. So if a player character is a beast, can I polymorph into that player character? Or do I polymorph into a basic bitch version of that player character race? That's something that I still have to figure out. I would say that you would turn into the basic bitch version. So whatever you would consider the Monster Manual standard for that race, if it is a beast categorized race, then you would turn into that. But plants, as I'm learning in as I'm learning in Skull and Shackles, plant races, or being a plant-type creature, does open you up to a lot of amazing spells that could affect you. So it is going to be very interesting to see the game begin to evolve as we move away from standard humanoid races. All right, lifespan, height, blah, blah. All right, so let's jump into Astral Elf. Long ago, because you got to have elves. Everywhere you go, these guys are there. They're already there. Everywhere you go. They are, yeah, like everyone just likes elves. I mean, anyways, long ago, groups of elves ventured from the Feywild to the astral plane to be closer to their gods. Cosmology lesson: the astral plane leads to the upper and lower planes of existence, so heaven and hell, essentially. Whereas the ethereal leads to the inner planes, which are the elemental planes. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see. Life in the silver void has imbued their souls with a spark of divine light. That light manifests as a starry gleam in the astral elf's eyes. Welp, I know what Larionis is going to play forever and never play another thing ever again. That light manifests as a starry gleam in the astral elf's eyes. So we have void elves now, I guess. That's cool. Because nothing ages in the astral plane. Astral elves from that plane are thousands of years old, and their longevity gives them an unusual perspective on time. Some are prone to melancholy, while others display an absence of feeling. Many look for creative ways to occupy themselves. Whether they choose to live in quiet contemplation or strike out to explore the reaches of the multiverse, they tend to see things through the lens of time as having little or no meaning to them. Astral elves who don't dwell in the astral plane can live to be over 750 years old. Alright, if you're an astral elf, you are a humanoid, a medium humanoid with regular speed. You have some spell-like abilities. You know, one of the following cantrips: Dancing Lights, Light, or Sacred Flame. You may choose Wisdom, Intelligence, Charisma as your ability. I'm down with that. That's kind of what we're doing with Bloodlines. Dark Vision, sure. Fey Ancestry, classic, okay. Keen Senses. Radiant Soul. When you succeed on a death save, you regain a number of hit points equal to your proficiency bonus plus intelligence, wisdom, or charisma. Choose when you select this race. You can't use this trait again until you finish a long rest. Okay. I know, you always gotta have fucking elves, man. It doesn't matter where you go in the multiverse, there's going to be a new flavor of elves. Baskin Robbins, 31 flavors of elves everywhere you go. It's just how it is. Alright, so this is interesting, I guess, as an ability. It's not great. Honestly, it doesn't seem as good as just a normal high elf. Like, really. Okay. Trance, like a normal thing, but trance proficiency. When you finish a long rest using your trance trait, you gain 2 proficiencies, each one with a weapon or tool of your choice. Okay. You mystically acquire these proficiencies by drawing them from shared elven memory, and you retain them until you finish your next long rest. So, feels like Astral Elf not really lending itself well to any sort of martial class, or at least not one that would have good weapon proficiencies. Now, if you were going for like a Gish, like an Arcane Trickster or something like that, or some kind of cleric mashup, I feel like you could get some pretty good mileage out of being able to pick any 2 weapon proficiencies in the game. That's pretty cool. All right. Overall, Astral Elf is all right. It's definitely not good. Yeah. Yeah, we should get more human variants. If you want more human variants, Ed Greenwood, creator of Forgotten Realms, he wrote a source book, and I believe there's like 30 different playable races or something in there. Also, Level Up 5e is kickstarting right now, and they're releasing a shitload of options for human characters. Also, that Ancestry guide, Grazalix or whatever, Ancestry guide that we're basing the Bloodlines project off of, has a lot of human variants as well if you're looking for human variants. Auto Gnome. Auto Gnomes are mechanical beings built by rock gnomes in their image, usually with a particular purpose in mind. For example, a gnome might build an auto gnome to be a steadfast colleague or a loyal companion. Sometimes, because of a malfunction or unique circumstance, an auto gnome becomes separated from its creator and strikes out on its own. An auto gnome bears a resemblance to its creator, and most auto gnomes are programmed to speak and understand gnomish. The internal components used in an auto gnome's manufacture can vary wildly. One auto gnome might have an actual beating heart in its chest cavity, while another might be powered by stardust or intricate clockwork gears. Roll on the auto gnome history table or choose an entry to determine what event set your autognome on the path to adventure. I would have preferred Modron, Rogue Modron, but you know, this is a start. This is a start. We're building towards Rogue Modron. Like gnomes, autognomes can live for centuries, up to 500 years. Why would they only live 500 years? Well, I guess my iPhone only lives about 5 years. So, okay. All right, I'll believe it. I'll believe it. All right, you are literally a construct. This is the first 5th edition race, I think, officially, that is actually a construct. Oh, thank you. Let's see. You are small. Your walking speed is 30. Armor casing. You're encased in thin metal or some other durable material. When you aren't wearing armor, you got a armor class 13. Ugh, okay. Build for success. You can add a d4 to one attack roll, ability check, or save throw you make, and you can do so after seeing the d20, but before the effects of the roll are resolved. You can use this trait a number of times to use your proficiency bonus. That's nice. And you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Okay. Stacks with guidance, though. That's pretty cool. And bardic inspiration. Mechanical nature. You have resistance to poison damage and immunity to disease. You have advantage on saving throws against being paralyzed. Oh, that's huge. Or poisoned. And you don't need to eat, drink, or breathe. Ooh, that's really nice. Paralysis is one of the worst status effects in the game. So advantage on that is real nice. And it's a better way of handling it than just the bullshit, oh, you're a construct, you're immune to like 15 different things. How does the new PC race classification like construct affect certain spells, like hold person, hold monster? There is, at the very beginning of the document, they address that, and they're just like, it does. Yep. So, like, if they're a construct, they're affected by things that affect constructs, or unaffected by things that don't affect constructs. Period. Stop. The end. Now, autognomes were given some shit here called True Life that we're about to get to that at least allows them to receive healing, I think. So, that'll be cool. Alright, Centuries Rest, just like a Warforged. Very nice. Let's see. Specialized Design. You gain tool proficiencies, 2 tool proficiencies of your choice. That is very much like one of the 3 variations of Warforged they had before. Good to see that coming back. If the Mending spell is cast on you, you can expend a hit die. Oh, that's a cool idea. Roll it and regain a number of hit points. So it's limited by your hit die amount. In addition, your creator designed you to benefit from common spells that preserve life that don't normally affect constructs. You can benefit from Cure Wounds, Healing Word, and Spare the Dying. Alright, that's pretty smart design. Autognome, very cool. Not as strong as a Warforged, in my opinion, but being able to explore being an actual construct instead of a quote-unquote living construct like a Warforged, that's a big deal. I think that could be very, very exciting and very, very fun mechanically and also like story-wise. So very exciting to see this first construct playable race. Sorry, Warforged, you tried. All right, then we've got Giff. Now, some people might tell you that it's pronounced Giff, and you don't need those people in your life. Okay, you don't need them in your life. Doesn't matter if they're the creator of the GIF and they tell you that it's GIF, they're wrong. Okay, it's GIF, hard G. The end. All right. GIF are tall, broad-shouldered folk with hippo-like features. Some have smooth skin. Well, I guess I could bring up artwork since they don't have any artwork here. That would have been smart on my part. Instead, I had this document open to make notes, and I'm not really doing anything. Astral elves, basically, they're just I mean, they're void elves, honestly. But, I mean, yeah, they're void elves. If you need to know what they look like, just put void elves. Hopefully nothing too spicy comes up. Yeah, here you go. They're void elves. Those are Astral elves. So World of Warcraft got you covered on that one. Let's see. Autognomes, also another World of Warcraft go-to if you needed something on autognomes. But here's the original autognome art from 2nd edition. Absolutely perfect in every way. Let's get that open in a new tab. Really, oh yeah, zoom in on that shit. That, okay? That's perfection. That's what an auto gnome looks like. These mecha gnomes from Blizzard, they ain't got shit. They ain't got shit on the real monster. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. Let's compare. Hold on. Actually, the Blizzard mecha gnomes do look pretty dope. All right. So if you need good art for your auto gnomes, look up mecha gnomes from World of Warcraft. Yeah, I mean it's basically the same thing. It's basically, but I do love his little rosy cheeks, like got a little Pinocchio head. He's like, I'm gonna build you this dope sci-fi robot body, but I'm gonna put a Pinocchio head on you. Is that okay? I think a Pinocchio head would really finish this off pretty good. Pretty good. All right, and then let's see, we get the Giff. Not the Giffy glyphs, but the Giff. Absolutely perfect in every way. Oh, what a majestic ass creature. All right, so let's talk about the Giff. Giff are tall, broad-shouldered folk with hippo-like features. Some have smooth skin, while others have short bristles on their faces and the tops of their head. As beings of impressive size and unforgettable appearance, Giff are noticed wherever they go. They also generally have old-timey British accents. Just if you're looking for, good roleplay for them. Storytelling is a rich tradition among Giff, and it's not uncommon to see a Giff recounting their past exploits to an enraptured crowd. Having a friendly Giff nearby when a tavern brawl erupts can also be useful, for a Giff can usually more than hold their own when pleasant revelry devolves into fisticuffs. Oh, my fucking heart. It's so full right now. I'm so excited for these guys. The Giff are split into two camps concerning how their name is pronounced. Half of them say it with a hard G, half with a soft G. Disagreements over the correct pronunciation often blossom into hard feelings, loud arguments, and headbutting contests, but rarely escalate beyond that. Giff traits. You get to be a Giff. I don't know what other special abilities you even need, but I guess we could see if there's anything else here. All right. You are medium. Not even a Jeremy Crawford medium? That's crazy. Oh, wait. You are. You have hippo build. Okay. You are humanoid. I like how we got constructs as playable race before we got large creatures as playable race. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Anyways, they also made fairies small, and they should have been tiny. And I'll die on that hill. Okay. You have a swim speed equal to your walking speed. I wouldn't assume that from the fact that you're wearing a full colonial huntsman's outfit there, but hell yeah, good for you. Damage dealer. Like a hippopotamus in a crystalware shop, you are naturally adept at damaging things. When you roll a 1 on a damage die for a melee attack, you can re-roll that die and use the new roll. And you could do so... Oh, wait. You can do so no more than once per turn. That would be amazing if you could just keep re-rolling. Yeah. But they're like... I want them to be really big. I want big hippo dudes. I want big elephant dudes. Damage dealer is kind of cool. But so many Giffs favor like ranged weapons. It seems like a weird fit for like if you're trying to keep like the feeling of the Giff, right? That they like their guns. And then you give them like a melee ability. Kind of sucks. I don't know why I can't just apply to all their damage. They're just really good at damaging shit. Hippo build. You have advantage on strength-based ability checks and strength saving throws. Well, that's huge. Wow. So you don't need to be a barbarian with a hippo, even though you get bonuses to damage with melee. You automatically have like one of the better parts of rage. Oh man, hippo sumo wrestler. I'm writing that concept down real quick. Hold on. Giff sumo exclamation mark. Well, that's my next character. All right. Let's keep going. I got this little gnat that keeps flying around. Oh, okay. In addition, you count as one size larger when determining your carrying capacity and the weight you can push, drag, or lift. overall, I am a little sad about the Giff. I think Hippo build is absolutely powerhouse. Like, that's amazing. I feel like Damage Dealer is gonna sort of pigeonhole your the gifts that get made to be more melee focused, and I'm kind of sad because like I feel like there's more to the GIF race than just being beefy. So yeah. All right. Let's go Hadozi. All right. Hadozi are also in Pathfinder too, and they're not in space. I think they're just a monkey race that you could play in Pathfinder. All right. These are really, like I said, they're flying squirrel monkey people. Let's get in here. All right. So, Hadozis are people with simian features that long ago adapted to living among the tall trees of their homeworld. They are natural climbers with feet as dexterous as their hands, even to the extent of having opposable thumbs. Membranes of skin hang loosely from their arms and legs. When stretched taut, these membranes enable a Hadozi to glide. The first Hadozis were hunted by large natural predators. To survive in this hostile environment, they developed an instinctual sense of community. Today, that same instinct compels many Hadozis to cultivate friendships, knowing there is safety in numbers. All right. I am curious if you are allowed to wear armor and still do this, but probably not. So let's see. You are a humanoid. You are medium or small. Big fan of that. Your walking speed is 30, and you have a climb speed equal to your walking speed. That's nice. Very nice. Dexterous feet. You can take the use object action as a bonus action. Okay, so you get two. Oh shit! Wait, what? You wow! Like wow, one of the best features of the thief subclass, and it's just a fucking racial. Oh my god, that's incredible. Wow, you can take the use an object action as a bonus action. Oh my god, that's that's really good. What the hell? What if I ask this a lot. I'm like, well, what if I take a class and it has the same ability as like the race I'm playing as, but like, damn. Oh, here's a much cooler picture of a Hadozi, by the way. Let's see. Oh, I'm looking for it. There we go. Look at that badass. Hell yeah. Um, That's damn. That dexterous feat is really good. I'm kind of like, I don't know. That's really. All right, I got to get over it. But as a racial ability, if we go up here to Astral Elves, which are like discount high elves, and then we go back down here to these dudes, it's unreal. All right. If you are not incapacitated or wearing heavy armor, you can extend your skin membranes and glide. When you do so, you can perform the following aerial maneuvers. When you fall, you can move up to 5 feet horizontally for every 1 foot you descend. That's pretty good. When you would take damage from a fall, you can use a reaction to reduce the fall's damage to 0. Wow. Wow, that's really good. What a cool race. Oh my, or species or ancestry. I don't know what we're calling them anymore. Man, Hadozi, holy shit. I was not expecting to be as impressed with the Hadozi as I am. Holy shit, that's really good. All right, let's check out Plasmoids. Been a while since I looked at Plasmoids. From what I remember, it's like, I don't know if you remember that movie, Osmosis Jones. Yeah, that's pretty much what I imagine Plasmoids to look like. But I'll try to find some OG art. Ugh, they're so gross. All right. So there's some Plasmoids for you. This is one that is a fan creation. So there's some plasmoids. Ugh, so gross. Here is an old school plasmoid with some equipment, looking adorkable. Let's see. Nope, not you. Not you. Where did you go? All right, hold on. There we go. So there's plasmoids. Plasmoids are amorphous beings with no typical shape. In the presence of other folks, they often adopt a similar form, but there's little chance of mistaking a plasmoid for anything else. They consume food by osmosis, the way an amoeba does, and excrete waste through tiny pores. They breathe by absorbing oxygen through another set of pores, and their limbs are strong and flexible enough to grasp and manipulate weapons and tools. Although most plasmoids are translucent gray, they can alter their color and translucence by absorbing dyes through their pores. Well, that's dope as hell. Okay. Plasmoids don't have internal organs of the usual sort. Their bodies are composed of cells, fibers, plasma-like ooze, and clusters of nerves called ganglia. Or if you're a weirdo Giff fan, janglia. Anyways. These nerves enable a plasmoid to detect light, heat, texture, sound, pain, and vibration. So are we looking at blind sight? I don't know. Let's find out. Plasmoids can stiffen the outer layers of their bodies to maintain a human-like shape, so they can wear clothing and accessories. They speak by forcing air out of tubular cavities that constrict to produce sound. When plasmoids sleep, they lose their rigidity and spread out, and are sometimes mistaken for a rock or some other feature of the environment. Well, I love them. I love them so much. I don't even know what they do yet. Oh my god, they're actually an ooze. They are a real ooze. Like, for real. That's wild. A playable ooze. Damn. That's bold. That's bold. Okay. You can be medium or small. Your walking speed is 30 feet. You can squeeze through a space as narrow as 1 inch. Oh, damn. People are concerned about flight on characters. This is a game changer right here. Provided you are wearing and carrying nothing. Oh, well, you gotta be naked, so. You also have advantage. So Monk would be amazing for this. Oh my gosh. Ooze Monk? I'm into that shit. Okay. Speaking of, you also have advantage on grapple checks you make to initiate or escape a grapple. That is amazing. So all of these guys could just be wrestlers. Space wrestling is a campaign. Marcus Noble needs to run it. I expect a draft for your Spelljammer wrestling campaign on my desk November 9th. November 9th, I need to have this document on my desk. So that's your assignment, Marcus Noble. A Spelljammer wrestling campaign. All right. Dark vision. You can see in dim light within 60 feet of you, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they don't get dark vision, or blind sight. That's interesting. Hold breath. You can hold your breath for 1 hour. Weird flex. Nobody cares. What a terrible ability. You have resistance to acid and poison damage. Okay. Poison a very common damage. Acid pretty rare. Still 2 resistances. That's really good. And advantage on saving throws against being poisoned. All really good. And then shape self. If you are not incapacitated, you can reshape your body to give yourself a head, 1 or 2 arms, 1 or 2 legs, and makeshift hands and feet. You can revert to a limbless blob with no action required. As a bonus action, you can extrude a pseudopod, can't we all, that is up to 6 inches wide and 10 feet long, or reabsorb it into your body. You can use this pseudopod to manipulate an object, open or unlock a door or container, store or retrieve an item, or pour out the contents of a container. The pseudopod can't attack, activate magic items, or carry more than 10 pounds. But yes, you can now be an ooze. Slime Girlfriend can finally be in Dungeons and Dragons. This is a big day. This is a big day. All right, let's see what else we got. These guys are really fucking good. I can't... I think Thri-kreen is the last one, and I'm really concerned that Thri-kreen is going to be hella nerfed. They used to be one of the strongest... They were like the Yuan-ti of 2nd edition. They were so strong. They were like the Yuan-ti of 2nd edition. Like, if somebody made Thri-kreen, you were like, oh yeah, this person is here to absolutely, like, min-max the hell out of this game. And they were almost always like, they almost always had psionic powers, which were very broken in 2nd edition. Thri-kreen was like a red flag if you were scared of power gamers, munchkins, and min-maxers. So I can't imagine that they've escaped the ban hammer. But we'll see. I'm going to find a picture of a Thri-kreen, and we'll throw it up on the screen so everybody knows the majesty of these creatures. Here we go. Nope, nope. Open. There we go. Now this Thri-kreen... I feel like he's missing some arms. Maybe not, though. This is the 2nd edition one. It was, no joke, just a praying mantis. Alright. Look at that thing. Majestic. I guess they only had 4 arms. Okay. Thri-kreen are insectile, have insectile features and 2 pairs of arms. Their bodies are encased in protective chitin. They can alter the coloration of this carapace to blend in with their natural surroundings. Although Thri-kreen don't sleep, they do require periods of inactivity to revitalize themselves. During these periods, they are fully conscious and aware of what's happening around them. Thri-kreen speak by clacking their mandibles and waving their antennas, indicating to other Thri-kreen what they are thinking and feeling. Other creatures find this method of communication difficult to interpret and impossible to duplicate. To interact with other folk, Thri-kreen rely on a form of telepathy. Alright, very excited. Let's see what we got here. You are a monstrosity. It finally happened. That's good shit. That's good shit. Oh my god, you could be a small Thri-kreen. Oh my god. That's adorable. Alright. Chameleon Carapace. 1, you aren't wearing armor, blah blah blah, AC 13, plus Dex modifier. As an action, you can change the color of your carapace to match the color and texture of surroundings, giving you advantage on dexterity stealth checks made to hide in those surroundings. Like literally, your surroundings is whatever surroundings you're in. This isn't like a wood elf, I have to be in the woods. You just fucking, like, you're the fucking predator. You're just kind of changing your shit wherever you go. That's amazing. The reason that so many people think that Thri-kreen are always brown is because they're from Dark Sun, and that whole world is just a, desert for the most part. Alright, you get dark vision. That's pretty standard. How are you handling secondary arms? I am so curious. You have 2 slightly smaller secondary arms below your primary pair of arms. The secondary arm functions like your primary arms with the following exceptions. You can use a secondary arm to wield a weapon that has the light property, but you can't use a secondary arm to wield other kinds of weapons. Okay, but it doesn't give you any extra attacks. But again, another great wrestling race, because you will be able to have free hands for grappling. You can't wield a shield with a secondary arm. So you could have a shield, 2 light weapons, and then a hand free for grappling. You could make the ultimate grappler rogue. Barbarian rogue. You grab them, and you still have weapons to shank them with as you hold them and pin them to the ground and just keep shanking them. Oh my god, that's awesome. Sleepless revitalization. You don't require sleep. You can choose to remain conscious during a long rest, but you must refrain from strenuous activity to gain the benefits of a long rest. They probably should assign some kind of hours here, similar to like an elf with like 4 or 6 hours or whatever. I mean, the implication is always 6 hours, but it would be good if they just put 6 hours there. Thri-kreen telepathy. You have the magical ability to communicate mentally with any number of willing creatures you can see within 120 feet of you. Wow! A contacted creature doesn't need to share a language with you, but it must be able to understand at least one language. Your telepathic link to a creature is not broken if you or the creature... Oh, wait. Your telepathic link to a creature is broken if you and the creature move more than 120 feet apart, if either of you is incapacitated, or if either of you mentally breaks the contact, no action required. They did a good job with these Thri-kreen, in my opinion. I think they captured all the things that are important about the Thri-kreen, and they still have shit that makes them interesting. Monstrous race. Wow. I'm really excited about these. I think these are really good, except for Astral Elf, which is terrible. These are really interesting, and like, I don't know, except for Astral Elf. So yeah, I'm into this shit. I will 100% allow these into my games. Even though they're still just playtest content, because I really think that there's some really cool mechanics here that deserve to be explored. So really excited for all of these. And that's the link, by the way, to what we're currently looking at. So, all right, and that's it. That's the thing. It's a shame that D&D Beyond no longer puts UA stuff on there, because it would have been nice to be able to use Character Builder on D&D Beyond to kind of mock up some of these creatures into playables. But I don't want to crack open one of these other amazing books that we were going to take a look at, just because I'm only streaming for another 10 minutes. I don't want to get us started on another book. Though, this book right here, Mince and Boo's Journal of Villainy, $15 for the PDF. All the money goes to Extra Life. It's 158 pages of content. It is a lot. There's a lot of good shit in here. This is, a lot of people are calling this what the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide should have been. And it companions well with the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide. So if you are a Forgotten Realms DM or player, I feel like this is a really good book to pick up. A really good book to pick up. It's even got the ice cream cones, the Pharoms from way back in the day. Look at that adorable ice cream cone monster. So yeah, it's pretty neat. But looking at this, I'm gonna go through and I'm just gonna make up a character. I think they'll probably get a little nerfed, maybe, but honestly, they're not as good as Yuan-Ti, and they're not as good as Theros Satyrs. Those are like the two best races, and they're not as good as Warforged, in my opinion. So I don't see why they would need to nerf the Thri-kreen. I think that you can build some insano builds out of these. All right, so let's see. Astral Elf. My takeaway on Astral Elf is terrible if you want to play most martials. Because racial to learn weapons. It would be nice with the nerf to languages if this ability for Astral Elves, the transfer proficiency, also included languages. I think that'd be pretty cool. Would be better if it included languages and knowledge skills. I think that would make it much more appealing. Radiant Soul is pretty hot garbage, I think. Well, it is a death save. You get to pop up from a death save. With more than one hit point, technically. So it's kind of like a better half-orc now that I'm like rereading it. So actually, it's not garbage. I'm gonna say Radiant Soul equal better half-orc. Okay. And then the rest of it's just your standard elf stuff with a much more limited selection of cantrips to go off of, but it also keys off of more than just intelligence, so some might view that as an improvement over the high elf. Overall, not the best elf, not the worst elf, definitely the least interesting thing in here. if I were to make an Astral Elf, it would for sure, I would for sure make them a... I'd probably just make an Arcane Trickster, to be honest. I feel like that would be... I feel like Arcane Trickster would be a good one for this. Another one that I might consider would be an Arcane Trickster plus some form of, like, Cleric. Maybe Tempest Cleric. That might be kind of cool. I think that they would kind of lend themselves pretty well to that. I don't know. Then we got Auto Gnome. And Auto Gnome, I'm really excited about Auto Gnome. So, Auto Gnome. And what do we think Auto Gnome could be good at? You got this natty armor bonus, which is pretty cool. You got a built-in guidance system. A guidance system? Oh my god, because it's a robot. It's beautiful. I wish they had called it guidance system. That would have been amazing. Mechanical nature is huge. Sentry's rest. So it's like you're like mini, like a mini Warforged. Unfortunately, this armor bonus doesn't stack with the barbarian armor bonus, so that kind of sucks. I'd almost say like a spellcaster, because then you would, I mean, you're gonna have shitty armor anyways, but at least it's better than nothing, and you wouldn't have to waste resources on mage hand. That could work. Okay. Oh, you know what? Obviously, it's obvious. Clockwork Sorcerer, I think, would be a good one. That's, yeah, I feel like that's kind of a no-brainer. Clockwork Sorcerer Auto Gnome would be a dupe. Okay. Alright, then we got Giff. Now, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, the way Giff plays out, you're gonna want a bruiser. You're gonna want an up close in the face sumo wrestler. So, if your DM allows Pugilist, I would definitely go Pugilist. But you want a strength-based grappler, is what I'm thinking. A strength-based grappler would be awesome. Also a good option for a grappler rogue. Alright. Let's see. Hadozi. I would say the only thing that a Hadozi would be bad at, or not bad at, but the only thing that would be redundant is if you went Rogue Thief. So do Rogue Thief is redundant. Because literally everything the Rogue Thief does, they have as a racial. Yeah, so they've got fast hands essentially for magical item use, or not magical item use. Well, yeah, for magical item use, and then they have a climb speed, so you don't need second story work. So overall, I mean, there you go. What would Hadozi be good at? I would say any sort of ranged dex character would be huge. Yeah. Maybe a ranger. That'd be kind of fun. Alright. Then we've got plasmoids. So, plasmoids, yeah. Let's look up something real quick. Oops. Let's see. Gonna go to D&D Beyond real quick. And I'm gonna look up oozes. Alright. I don't think ooze as a template gives you anything particular. So maybe ooze isn't as great as we think it is. Let's see. It's still really good. Ooze are gelatinous creatures that rarely have a fixed shape. They are most commonly subterranean, dwelling in caves and dungeons and feeding on refuse carrion creatures unlucky enough to get in their way. Black puddings, gelatinous cubes are among recognizable oozes. So yeah, I mean, unless a spell specifically says it can affect an ooze, there's really no big deal about being an ooze. I mean, you're immune to, like, humanoid shit, which is amazing. And I don't think there's a lot of stuff that specifically targets oozes. So ooze would be a pretty nice thing to have, really. Now, you're gonna want to be naked as a plasmoid. So whatever you could do to stay naked, I think is going to be important. Yes, you can wear armor and shit like that, but they're going to be at their best when they're naked. So let's see, stays naked. You're probably going to want to be a barbarian or a monk. Or I guess wizard sork. But I'd say with that acid resistance and poison resistance, you know what causes acid? Being eaten. So definitely a melee character would benefit from being a plasmoid. So I'm going to say that monk or barbarian is your best bet for plasmoid. And I think it would be a hell of a lot of fun to play a plasmoid. It sounds so fun. All right, and then we've got the Thri-kreen. All right. Thri-kreen. What can't they do? Let's be honest. The big thing here is they have built-in stealth, so you definitely want something that could benefit from stealth. Now, traditionally, they made really good rangers and they made really good monks. Were two of the things that were very good for them. Monks because back in the day, you want to get as many hits out as you could, and your extra arms give you extra hits. Fighter, always good, because you used to be able to use all 4 of your arms to do stuff. Now, we've established that this doesn't in any way increase their action economy. It just increases their options. So, definitely, you want to do something that is good at grappling. So, there are 3 races that are good at grappling, which is really nuts, honestly. I think the best thing that you could probably get for a Thri-kreen would be... I just feel like the best thing you do with that extra arm is just have a hand free for grapples, honestly. Though, I guess if your DM is really strict about, like, action economy, having an extra hand free to hold items and get items out and ready items and things like that, that might be kind of huge. Yeah, it really depends. Like, if your GM is as strict on hand action economy as Solasta the video game was, which is to say insanely strict, that extra hand's going to come in handy all kinds of ways. But as it is, you're not allowed to use a shield and a heavy weapon because you need your primary hands for the heavy weapon and for a shield. So you can't get the benefits of a greatsword and a shield. So they thought of that. It might be kind of cool, though, to mix it up. Like, what counts as a light property weapon? 5e light weapons. Okay. So, light weapons include hand axes, light hammers, sickles. Let's see. Clubs. What else? What else? Scimitars, short swords. I could have sworn there were more light weapons than this, but maybe not. Dagger. Light crossbow. That doesn't count as a light weapon. It's just called a light crossbow. And hand crossbow. Ooh, hand crossbow, you say? Hand crossbow. That might be kind of cool. Let's see. Yeah, these guys would definitely benefit from a game where the DM has, like, gone in for all that extra weapons and shit like that. Like, I know Level Up 5e is bragging about 100 new weapons or 100 plus new weapons or something like that all are different and special and unique. That could be a toy box of delights for a Thri-kreen for sure. Use a two-hander and an offhand light weapon to get two-weapon fighting styles so you don't need light requirement from doing an offhand attack. Oh, dope. That's a good idea, Dom. Alright, so I'll just put that whole thing in there. So let's see. Additionally, just having a hand crossbow so you could pew-pew without having to swap out would be kind of huge too. But I feel like I'd always keep my 4th hand free is where I would be at. But like, yeah, dream scenario would be 2-hander with a light weapon off-hander, 2-weapon style. That would be huge. Dang. These are, I mean, I'm even coming around to the Astral Elf a little bit. I think a lot of people are going to take Astral Elf just to be extra. They're going to be like, I need something that's more extra than ASMR. Is there anything more extra than ASMR? And it's going to be like, don't worry. We got you now. You could be an Astral Elf. What's that? Well, it's basically a Void Elf from Warcraft. Oh my god. Yeah, so that's handled. Yeah, I'm excited. I want to see all these things in play. I want to see an actual construct. I want to see Giff. I want to see a Giff sumo wrestler. I want a Giff sumo wrestler real bad. Like real bad. Yeah. So very, very cool. I like all of them. I'm allowing all of them. If you are in one of my longer games, please don't kill yourselves just so that you can play one of these races. Please don't. I like all your characters a lot. Please don't kill yourselves. So you can play these. You know, there'll be other games. There'll be one shots and stuff. There'll be mini series. But please don't murder yourselves just so that you can play these new races. They might get nerfed. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they're exciting and all that, but I have told my Extra Life players that they could play these in the Extra Life Marathon, these new races, so maybe we'll see some of these. I also opened up the classes that we built for the Gothic Horror setting as playable classes, so we might see some pretty interesting homebrew playtest options in store for us at the Extra Life Marathon. When is the Extra Life Marathon? Extra Life Marathon is in 28 days. 28 days. Special sponsors this year, we've got D&D Beyond, we got Sirenscape, we've got Foundry VTT, The-Forge VTT, we got Incarnate, we got Cze Peku, Tom Cartos, Heroic Maps, Afternoon Maps, Meditating Monkey Maps, and more and more and more. Lots of map makers, because we do use a lot of maps in our work. Got some gift certificates to give away to Miniature Market and some other online retailers. Lots and lots and lots of cool prizes this year. Everybody who enters is going to be able to be entered into a donor raffle to win those prizes. We'll also be giving away the prizes during the 25-hour stream. So audience members of the stream will be able to essentially try to win some prizes as well. Very, very, very excited about it. In less than an hour, we will be playing our second game of Monster Hunter, run by Dom. And it was incredibly fun last week. If you like Monster Hunter, if you like D&D, if you like Giphy Glyphs, if you like combat, tabletop combat, or you just like looking at really good-looking assets in virtual tabletop, all of those things are going to be in store for you tonight in the second game of our Monster Hunter series. So I'm very excited for that. I will be streaming that. I won't be hosting it. I'll be the actual streamer this time, like I was last week. So looking forward to that. And yeah, Red ran Eberron Western game to raise money for Extra Life. It wound up needing to be a two-parter, so there'll be a second one of those later in the month. So we'll post up more information about that when we know about it. So yeah, we do need to schedule some time to look over Minx and Boo's Journal of Villainy and also Raiders of the Serpent Sea Player's Guide, which is not the sequel, but the next big thing from Arcanum Worlds, the people that made Odyssey of the Dragon Lords. They are making a Viking version, Viking-themed Odyssey type deal. Very curious about what's going on there. I'm trying to work out some scheduling so I could talk to the writer, the lead writer for this, and maybe get some inside information. I think they're about 75% of the way through production, and they're getting ready to launch the Kickstarter. So hopefully, we as an Odyssey of the Dragon Lords community can sort of be there from the very beginning of this project and really have a core understanding and kind of watch the project develop and all that jazz. I know I'm trying to avoid any more big campaigns, but I do love me some Vikings, and I do love Odyssey of the Dragon Lords, so it's going to be a very hard thing to resist running this campaign, especially since Heroic Maps did a whole series of Viking maps recently, and they would be perfect to combine with this setting. So, ooh, yeah. Anyways, so we'll make time to look at these stuff. Also, we're going to be prepping for Extra Life. It's going to be a very, very busy month. So I will see you at 8 for Monster Hunter, or I will see you next time.